Hello and a very warm welcome to our special edition, the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstart questions asked by the members of the upper house during the historic 250th session of the Rajya Sabha and the response given by the government in written format. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain.
Thanks for watching the Question Hour.
So Rajat, let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. And the first question that we've picked up in this edition of Question Hour is from member Anil Desai, and this one is to the Department of Atomic Energy. And Mr. Desai has asked the government whether nuclear power is the cheapest power as compared to other traditional sources of power.
So replying to the query, the government said tariffs of electricity generated by nuclear power are competitive with those of contemporary conventional baseload generators like thermal power. The present installed nuclear power capacity comprises of 22 reactors, a total capacity of 6,780 megawatts. The electricity generation from nuclear power plants during the year 2018-19 was about 37,813 million units. Highest priority is accorded to safety in all aspects of nuclear power, that is, sitting, design, construction, commissioning and operation. Nuclear power plants are designed adopting safety principles of redundancy, diversity and provided fail-safe design features following a defense in-depth approach. This ensures that there are multiple barriers between the source of radioactivity and the environment. The operations are performed adopting well laid out procedures by highly qualified, trained and licensed professionals. Appropriate personal protection equipments and monitoring aids are provided to all the personnel working in the nuclear power plants. Moving on, the next question was asked by member Harnath Singh Yadav from Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. And he sought to know whether the ministry is aware of the fact that large number of posts of agriculture scientists are lying vacant since long in Indian Council of Agriculture Research.
In a detailed reply given by the government says that ICAR has a sanction strength of 6,546 scientists at various levels, out of which 5,093 posts are filled. The recruitment and retirement of scientists is a continuous process. The recruitment is done on the basis of a specialized qualification prescribed for a particular scientific post, subject to availability of appropriately qualified candidates as and when required in the areas of specialization. On the other hand, vacancies arise continuously due to retirements, resignations, deputations and also death. All scientific posts in ICAR are filled through Agricultural Scientist Recruitment Board, which is also known as ASRB. Due to starting the process of delinking ASRB from ICAR, the vacancies could not be filled. Now that the ASRB has been restructured with the approval of Government of India, steps for filling up all the vacancies have already been taken and advertisement of some of the vacancies has already been published by ASRB. As per the allocation to various departments under the union budget, ICAR receives its proportionate allocation of funds to meet the challenges and other requirements as well. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by member Prasanna Acharya, and Mr. Acharya has asked the government about the corrective steps taken to ensure safety and security of mines as well as mine workers.
Replying to the query, the government said coal companies have taken several precautionary steps to prevent mine accidents and to improve the standards of safety, and these steps are here as under: preparation and implementation of risk assessment-based safety management plans, preparation and implementation of principal hazards management plans along with trigger action response plans, formulation and compliance of site-specific risk assessment-based standard operating procedures, conducting safety audits of mines, adopting of state-of-art mechanism for strata management such as scientifically determined rock mass rating-based support system, strata control cell for monitoring efficacy of strata support system, roof bolting by using mechanized drilling for roof bolting, use of resin capsules in place of cement capsules and modern strata monitoring instruments. Now, imparting quality training to support crew and frontline mine officials. Moving on the reply, the government said mechanism for monitoring of the mine environment are here as under: detection of mine gases by using methanometer and co-detector, multi-gas detector as well. Continuous monitoring of mine environment by installing environment tele-monitoring system or the ETMS and local methane detectors or the LMDs. Application of gas chromatograph for quick mine air sample analysis with better accuracy. Use of personal dust sampler or the PDS. and use of continuous ambient air quality monitoring system in large OCPs to assess ambient dust concentration. Well, next question was asked by member Rupin Bora, and he sought to know from Ministry of Communication whether the government proposes to introduce 5G spectrum mobile broadband in the country.
In the reply, the government says that standards for IMT 2020, International Mobile Telecommunications 2020, also known as 5G technologies in industry, are being finalized. An interministerial high-level forum for 5G India 2020 was constituted in September 2017 to articulate vision for 5G in India and to recommend policy changes, structural changes, and action plan to actually realize this vision. The high-level forum submitted its report titled as Making India 5G Ready in August 2018. The government further says that based on the report, the government is creating an enabling framework for deployment of affordable and secure 5G services in India. The radio spectrum and the telecom licenses awarded by the government are technology neutral and can facilitate deployment of any network or services. The eligibility criteria for bidders to participate in next auction of spectrum will be decided by the government prior to the auction. As per the information available, no case of any first world countries disapproving 5G spectrum services due to security reasons has come to the notice. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by member Shashikala Pushpa, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha. And the member has asked the government whether government has taken or is taking steps to cultivate more medicinal plants to ensure quality Ayush drugs for the public.
Well, the ministry answered that Ministry of Ayush, under its centrally sponsored scheme of National Ayush Mission, that is NAM, provides financial assistance to farmers to encourage cultivation of medicinal plants throughout the country. Under NAM scheme, there is a component on medicinal plants which is primarily aimed at supporting cultivation of herbs, medicinal plants on farmers' land with backward linkages through establishment of nurseries for supply of quality planting material and forward linkages for post-harvest management. Since 2015-16 to till date, Ministry of Ayush has supported 48,379 hectare area of cultivation of medicinal plants across the country. At present, 140 medicinal plant species have been prioritized for supporting cultivation throughout the country, for which subsidies provided to farmers at the rate of 30%, 50% and 75% of cost of cultivation. As per NAM scheme guidelines, the funds under this component is shared into the ratio of 60-40 between the central and the state governments, whereas it's in the ratio of 90:10 in northeastern region and hilly regions, states, and financed 100% by central government in union territories. The cultivation program is implemented throughout the identified implementation agency of concerned state, and the financial assistance is provided as per the state annual action plan approved for concerned state. Well, next question was asked by the member V. Vijayasai Reddy, and he asked for Ministry of Commerce and Industry the details of deliberations and arrangement arrived in the recently concluded Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, that is RCEP meeting.
In the response, the government says that during the third RCEP summit, which was held on 4th of November 2019 in Bangkok, India highlighted the fact that the current structure of RCEP did not reflect the RCEP guiding principles or address the outstanding issues and concerns of India, in light of which India decided to opt out of RCEP, or Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. The government further says that India's position in the RCEP negotiation was formulated to achieve balanced outcomes, balancing ambitions with addressing domestic sensitivities as well. RCEP was intended to facilitate and thereby increase goods and services trade as well as investment flow amongst the participating countries. India and ASEAN have agreements on trade in goods as well as trade in services. India-ASEAN trade in goods and services was signed on 13th of August 2009, and India-ASEAN agreement on trade and services was signed on 13th of November 2014. So Rajat, these were the important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. But on the other side, we'll have Prashn Kal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please stay with Rajya Sabha Television.